Hey Scorpio. So I'm a little bit torn because I had some issues with when I recorded this before. But pretty much these are the cards that came out. The future card came out first. Your current card came out, and then your past card. Your future card, well, it doesn't really matter. We're going to start off from the beginning. So right now, your past card could be your current energy. We have round and round. So it could be that you were caught in some type of cycle that you were in previously. And because of that, like, you know, it could have just been something you felt like you were stuck in. But let's see what's up. So yeah, it might have to do with two things. It could have to be with like your financial or home life. Oh, two. Okay. So the cycle could have been that you pretty much stay home and are creative, but then I don't know, at some point you must get caught up in the past. Whatever it is, okay, I get it. You might be caught in a cycle where whatever your past experience was with this cycle, it kind of forces you into this place where you need to like kind of like chill hella hard. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to say PTSD because that's too strong of like basically anything improper to be describing it as such. But it seems like whatever it is, you get stuck in this cycle, you get really nostalgic, and you need to rest after or take a break from it. And whatever it is, like, it seems like you were stuck in that for a while. Now, it looks like with this next card that you're currently going through a fork in the road, it could be that you're ready to make some changes. So, okay. So, one, and I get like this fire energy is one of those things where it's, I think it has to do with creativity. So maybe it's like you have an issue. Ooh, it could be that you have an issue with being consistent when it comes to working on something. Like you either are super into it, you work really, 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 really hard, and then you need to rest. And then you kind of get caught in that cycle. But like while it does work and it does get the work done, it's not really good for building a practice or like getting things done in the long term. Part of that I think is that it's like with the strength card coming out is that I think part of it is that you're gonna have to, you're gonna need strength. And then like with these 5 of Wands right here coming out after the strength card, I think that means that you're gonna need to sort of tame that impulse. That's what it is. You're gonna have to learn how to control those impulses. Ooh, wow, that's so funny. So you got the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, it might be one of those things that you get so caught up in your creative cycle or in your ideas and stuff like that, that you might not even, it might not make it into the real world. Like you don't complete these things, or they're not done in the way that you want, or in some way they're lacking. Huh. I see this as thinking versus doing. I know that like the Page of Swords is about communication and stuff like that, but also there's like kind of this immature way of wielding the sword and how they're moving about with these things. Also too, they tend to spy. So I feel like you may be kind of in this process of you take too long to take action, or maybe it's a lot of waiting and you talk about it, because 8 of Wands can be talking or communication, and it's less about being about it. Huh. That might be pretty specific though. But I get this is about something that you've been trying to do for a while, or like something consistent. Like maybe it's self-doubt that leads to you, you know, being put out or not succeeding in the way that you want. Maybe you look at, you know, how other people are doing things, and I don't know, something about this, like, I know that's an action card. Yeah. That's what it is. I think you talk about a lot of your good ideas that you have, but you have this problem with kind of executing them, but then sticking to it in like a plan that's going to work. Like mine is just being like, you get all the work out and then it's like done. That's it. It's a complete project. It's not like that, like longer term work, longer term bodies of work, things that are going to take more time. Like maybe you see other people doing something similar or doing these things in their own way. And maybe now you're starting to gear yourself up to like doing this as well. Because between worlds, I feel like, let's see. Okay, again with this creativity. What's up with all these wands up in this Scorpio reading? Okay, so and Aquarian energy. Okay, so I think this is about being more balanced about moving forward with these pursuits. Okay, what's this Three of Swords about? Again. So we got the Page of Wands in the World and the Three of Swords. And I truly read this as like maybe criticism. Like maybe you're, I don't want to say afraid of criticism, but I think that maybe it's just kind of like, you know, some people are afraid of success, and so sometimes they don't take that big leap. I feel like it could be that. And maybe the excuse is that like, oh, people don't embrace my work, or, oh, I'm kind of caught up in negative thoughts. I have a hair stuck in my mouth. But whatever it is, I mean, but then I also feel like it's an end of a cycle of negative self-talk as well. Like maybe you just have to go, okay, I want to succeed in this thing. I'm choosing to do so. But I think it's not about, yeah, because with the Nine of Wands, to me, that's just like, okay, my head's been knocked around a bit and I've got my ass kicked a little bit, but I'm still going to keep going. So whatever this pursuit is, I think that maybe you're making this choice to not hold yourself back from success or from making these changes that you've been wanting to make for a while, or executing this plan that you've had for a while. So I would say, you know, people say, stop getting your own way. I think that shit's corny as hell. But I do think that it's about like, because with Between Worlds, it's like round and round, fork in the road, and then between worlds. So it's like you've been inching towards this. First, you were stuck in this cycle. Then you're like, okay, I need to start being more, I don't want to say practical, but you're more aware of the direction that you're trying to go in, and you want to actually be more conscious of what you're doing. And now you're at this place where you're in between worlds. So if you're between worlds, you do have to choose which direction you're going to go in. So maybe you're at that point where you could either keep going in this direction where you're really grinding and working hard, doing something different, or you might slip back into like this whole getting too caught up in your head about these things that you're doing. So make sure that you just, if it's negative self-talk, if it's feeling I don't have the resources, I don't know what I'm doing, or anything like that, like just, I think it's best to keep pursuing whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so let's pull out these advice cards and see what's up. 1, High Priest, intend and create. See? Maybe now you're starting to be more intentional with the work that you're doing and the things that you're doing with yourself or your time. So I read that as keep going, you know. Have those intentions and move forward with them and be consistent. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Ooh. So maybe it could be that you're breaking out of a cycle that's like a family thing. Maybe you're pursuing some type of area of study or form of expression or something that's not common. Maybe you're the first of your kind in your family. Whatever the case may be, keep going. And then Father Sky, trust in the unknown. See, and I just said keep going. So I think that like at the end of the day, you probably feel this too, and this is why you're just like less restless than you have been, that you're like trust in the unknown. And then at the bottom of the deck it was Sage, be devoted and committed. So I read that as like be consistent. Maybe be consistent with your dreams. So maybe that's what that is. Pursue your dreams and be consistent with them, and don't worry about whatever other people are doing. Maybe you're starting to learn and understand that. But yeah, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions or anything, hit me up. You know, thanks for watching, Scorpio. Have a good one. Bye.